the millionaire creator, owner of She's Got Goals, LLC, Dr. Karwanna D.
I'm Dr. Karwanna D. I am from San Francisco Bay Area, California, West Coast. Entrepreneurship is actually supposed to help you get past,
and create a legacy, right?
Not only create legacies, but create wealth. Here's the thing about becoming a first-generation millionaire, first-time millionaire. Like, a lot of times we're like, that's a big number, and oh my God, my life is going to change. But when you get there, you realize $1 million ain't enough.
It's not enough.
And when you understand government contracting and the money that they have for you, I'm going to leverage the government to actually really build a legacy, because that is how you actually build a multiple $1 million business.
What is that application process like? Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the WIM Speak Show, produced by the #1 sisterhood in the world, Women in Media Global, hosted by your girl, DP Jeter. And today we have another amazing guest for you in the studio. So if you have a business, this is for you. If you're trying to make millions, this is for you. And if you want to work smarter and not harder, stay tuned to this episode and get so much information. So welcome to the show, the millionaire creator, owner of She's Got Goals, LLC, Dr. Karwanna D. For the first time in history, the knowledge that government contract strategist Dr. Karwanna D provides allows ordinary people to become millionaires. All right, that's us. Dr. Karwanna has helped over 200 business owners generate in excess of $3 million and grow in revenues. In 2022, she created even more millionaires and aims to continue to do so for communities of small business owners from around the country. She wants all small business owners to obtain this knowledge from her and grow. Karwanna has learned how to build a business from the ground up, and that includes establishing your business, marketing, branding, building a website, understanding your target market, and more. In addition, she has created the millions, billions, and trillions, the Trillion-Dollar GovCon Qualifier App, an easily accessible app to get pre-qualified for government contracts. This app will tell you what small business government contracting programs you qualify for and what you need in business to be eligible for contract. And the app is available wherever you download all of your apps, the Android store, the Apple store. So without further ado, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's such an honor to be here. Thank you.
I love everything that you're doing, right? You have the app going on. So I'm really excited about the app and want to get into how you're helping small business owners. Our audience is really going to love this episode because it's filled with women who have dreams of starting a business or they're in business. And, you know, a lot of our small businesses are struggling with funding. So we really appreciate you bringing this knowledge.
Absolutely. Thank you so much. Of course, for those who are aspiring to start businesses or maybe just getting started, or even if you've been in business, just listen in on the information that I'm going to share, because it's really going to change the way that not only that you think about business, but the access to opportunities and capital that you need to take your business to the next level. I'm excited about, sharing the information today.
All right. So let's start off by you just telling us how you got into business, where you're from, all those good things. Give us a little bit of background story.
I'm Dr. Karwanna D. I am from San Francisco Bay Area, California, West Coast, But, of course, I have a global impact across the nation. A little over 20 years ago, I actually walked away from corporate America because I really got tired of working hard and not really enjoying life. So if you ever been working a 9-to-5, do you understand what that feels like? You're a robot, feel like you get up every single day to go do the same thing, to go home to maybe eat and take care of the kids for a moment. Then you got to go to sleep and get up and do the same thing all over again, right? When I was growing up, I really wanted to break the normal things that I saw my mom do, and I saw what was happening in the community. I didn't want to live that. So for me, I would see what superstars and really highly successful people were accomplishing and what they were doing. I'm like, I want to live like that. So growing up, especially from the inner cities, like I wanted to do something different, break the norm and break generational curses. And so what I did was I walked away from corporate America. I started a business, of course. At that time, I had no idea what I was doing or how I was going to make money in that business. And so, but I knew that business was going to be the first gateway to getting me to the freedom that I wanted and to break through the limitations, financial limitations that corporate America had me bound by. For a few years, of course, I had no clue what I was doing, but did it anyway.
Okay.
And I was able to do that because it was a 2-parent household. So, you know, I had a little support there. So I was able to figure out business the wrong way. And you probably have heard this too, right? So it takes 2 to 5 years to really build a business and to, you know, don't even expect the profit for the first 2 to 5 years. Like most people think that, right? This is the norm. And so I went into business thinking that. I read a bunch of articles about bootstrapping your way to the top. And I'm like, well, I guess that's what we got to do.
I bootstrapped.
I guess, you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess we got to read, you know. So I did that. But at some point I was like, this gotta be a better way.
Right.
And so for the first few years in business, I struggled like most entrepreneurs. Like I would say 98% of small business entrepreneurs are struggling to even make 6 figures. And I didn't want to be a part of that 98%. I wanted to find out how can I be a part of the top 2%. And so
the top 2% are
millionaires.
Millionaires.
Yeah.
Only 2%.
Only 2%. And the numbers are even more staggering when you're talking about 2% of Black-owned businesses.
So it's
even
current
smaller.
Or is it?
That's current. Only 2%. And so
So I just want to pause right there and just give shout outs to God because it's so many millionaires in my immediate circle.
And they probably don't even know they're a part of the top 2%.
Y'all doing it. So shout outs to you. Shout outs to the millionaires who's listening to this who are my friends, who are Dr. Karwanna's friends. Because I mean, we the top. That's what's up.
So I'm here because I'm in a mastermind. So I was connected with multiple 6-figure earners and millionaires. And they're like, these are the problems that we're having and the business is going up and down. I'm like, do you not know, part of the top 2%? You have to be grateful. And there's always going to be ups and downs, the highs and the lows.
Preach it.
The reason why we have the highs is so that you can have what you need to sustain you through the low moments. So once you understand how to make money, you never forget that.
Come on.
You gotta continue doing the work. That's it.
This is awesome. You talked about how to make money.
Yeah.
Can you simply just tell us how do we make money in our business?
After struggling a few years in my business, barely making $20,000, $30,000 a year, but working 70, 80 hours a week, I actually was freelancing for the first Black billionaire that I had ever met personally. The first Black billionaire that I've ever personally met. Okay. Yeah. So I was freelancing for him and I was doing video production and I was doing photography and I was like building his websites, like all the stuff that I was doing. Most of the time you don't ask people. You feel like it's taboo to ask people, how did you do it? Right? Yeah. Because a lot of times, especially in the Black and brown community, is like nobody wants to share the information. But he took a serious look at me and he said, well, the same thing that you're doing for me, there are lucrative government contracts and you can actually sell that service. When you're thinking about government, you're thinking war, weapons, military. I'm like, video production. And he told me that the government buys literally everything. From that, I actually made it my business to really figure out how to make government contracts work for me. After a while of figuring out, bumping my head and stuff, it took me a couple years to really kind of find the blueprint because nobody was teaching. Like nobody was teaching you how to do the stuff. And then I landed my first contract. It was $70,000, but it was only for 28 days of work. So suddenly I had replaced what I was working in corporate America, missing out on family time and friend time and feeling like I was a robot in the circle. And I replaced that annual income in 30 days, less than 30 days. I was like, wait a minute. We were told all these lies about 2 to 5 years in business to turn a profit.
A lie.
Had I been doing this from the beginning, I would have turned a profit within my first 30, 60, 90 days.
Let's go.
So I call it the $1 trillion secret to government contract. Every person who's in business needs to know that the government has your money.
And we are so happy that you're here spreading this knowledge to all of our business owners. And even now that you might be thinking about starting a business, now you actually have a source to get to the funding.
Absolutely.
So can you tell us a little bit about like what that application process is like for us to apply for the grants?
Sure.
Or the funding, because it's not a grant.
Exactly. So here's the thing. Most people don't know this. So in 2019, the federal government spent over $6 trillion on business products and services.
I just want to get up and shout. Like, I just feel like let's just hit a gold.
Yeah, it is a gold mine. And watch this. In 2020, that spending increased by $3 trillion. So that's $10 trillion. Out of that $10 trillion, 26% was obligated and mandated, according to the Small Business Act, to be spent with small business entrepreneurs. That's me. That's you. That's everyone who has under 500 employees, according to the SBA standard. And so that's over over $2.6 trillion that's being spent on things like video, audio, marketing,
PR?
consulting, PR service,
Media,
so like everything, literally. Like the government buys everything from lighting to janitorial to, everything that we consume as individual people, the government actually buys. And they're obligated to buy it from other people. They can't self-source it.
Okay.
So they have to buy it from entrepreneurs. Traditionally, a lot of the entrepreneurs have been marginalized, like Black and Brown, women-owned, Latino-owned, Native American. They have specific pools that only people who have those socioeconomic disadvantages can participate in. So that is the gold of money. It's the pot of money. It's like your bag is there. And so once you understand the power that you have as an entrepreneur, many entrepreneurs are in business. They're making a little bit of money to live and survive. Well, entrepreneurship is actually supposed to help you get through, get past,
and create a legacy, right?
And not only create legacies, but create wealth. And it's not built for you to struggle as an entrepreneur. It's built for you to create wealth. Now, you have to do it strategically. The people perish because of lack of knowledge. The lack of knowledge is what keeps us stuck. But once you understand where the money is, then you know how to, position yourself to go after it. Now, I have clients that are landing $1 million contracts.
Let's go.
$250,000 contract, $50,000 contracts for just one day of work.
The funding opportunity
was for one day of work.
Wow.
And they're making like $50,000 just for an 8-hour day.
What were they doing for that?
So, in particular, I have a client named Kim, and she does trainings like diversity and inclusion training.
Oh, she
for a day. That's $50,000. A couple of them, she made $23,000.
Oh, wow.
Just for the day.
So she went in and
presented. She went in and presented.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So I always talk about the premium value ladder. 3 primarily types of business models.
Okay.
They have the B2B or
B2B.
B2B. The lowest premium value is B2C. That's business to consumer. At the business to consumer level, it's really hard to grow a thriving business because you need volume. You need a lot of customers. So this is where you find yourself chasing customers, having to give discounts, and it's a pricing thing and all those. So that's the hardest business model to have. Then there's B2B, which is business to business, right? More money, still takes you a lot of time to build a business, but you get paid a lot more when you're doing business with business.
Yes.
At the top level, I call it B2P. It's business to premium.
Oh.
Right? There are 2 premium buyers in the world that exist. That's government, number 1 biggest purchaser of business products and services in the world. And then there's corporations, B2C.
You know what? I want to really change my business model. Because I'm like, I've been doing B2B for all of my, business entrepreneurship journey. But I'm just like, it got to be more.
Yeah.
It has to be more out here. And I was like, how do I get to corporation?
Yes.
So you put me on to some really exciting information.
And it's not that you have to stop doing what you're already doing. It's layering, right? When you do business like with government or corporations, what it does is it gives you what I call cash infusions. You end up having so much money just from a simple day of work. You have more cash flow available. You're able to take your business from like barely under 6 figures to multiple 6 figures in a year, like multiple 6 figures. And then when you start layering it, because you get your time back, which is one of the most valuable assets that you can have. So now it gives you the ability to have the capacity to do multiple contracts simultaneously.
Because now you can bring in more staff members.
Exactly.
You can build up your team.
Exactly.
Yeah, you can build up your system, your automation.
Yeah. From there, you're able to break through that $1 million ceiling. And then when you get there, here's the thing about becoming a first-generation millionaire, first-time millionaire. Like, a lot of times we're like, that's a big number, and oh my God, my life is going to change. But when you get there, you realize $1 million ain't enough.
It's not enough.
And when you understand government contracting and the money that they have for you, I'm going to leverage the government to actually really build a legacy, because that is how you actually build a multiple $1 million business and break through to billions, and for some, even trillions of dollars in business. The money is there.
What is that application process like?
Yeah.
Like, what do we have to make sure we have in place?
Yeah.
How long will it take us to do it? And I know you have the app where we can identify and find them.
Yeah.
So that's like a step in the right direction.
Yeah, absolutely. So what do you have to do to kind of apply? So I have a 4-step system that I always share with my clients. It happens in 4 phases. But number 1, this is not the first step, but number 1 before, the prerequisite is in order for you to actually attract a premium buyer like corporations and business and government, you have to become a premium entrepreneur, which means that you can't show up any kind of way. You have to have your paperwork in order, which means your taxes have to be done, financial statements, actual business bank account. You can't just show show up like, can I get a contract because I'm black? No, you can't
Because
do
I'm
that.
black.
Right? No,
They loved
there's a whole checklist of items that you have to have in order to actually show up as a premium buyer. Once you're willing to become, because everybody ain't willing, once you're willing to become that premium entrepreneur yourself, then there are 4 simple phases that you can do. Number 1, you have to optimize your business foundation, which means, okay, so you have to have a business license, a copy of your ID, produce your driver's license and your passport or birth certificate, all the things that legitimizes your business.
Okay.
If you have a LLC, then you have to have your articles of incorporation, operations agreement, a business resume. So it's just like a certain checklist of things. And I'll talk more about that, of course, because I have a 5-day challenge where
I'm pretty sure you
understand, like, here's what you really need.
Okay.
And in the app, it actually goes through the questionnaire. Oh, do you have this? Do you have that? And then whatever you don't have, it'll tell you in order to become that premium entrepreneur, you need these things. Right?
Oh, I know y'all excited about this information.
Yeah.
We are here at the WIM Speak Show. Make sure you are sharing this information. If you have business owners in your life and you want to see them win and succeed and build that legacy of wealth, please go ahead and share this information.
Yeah. The second step is certifications. Of course, the socioeconomic disadvantages that we all can identify with are like minority, Black and brown businesses, women owned, right? Native American, disabled, service disabled, veterans. Oh my God, there are so many veterans that have no clue what their benefits are, but also have no clue that if you start a business, it's so much money for veterans. It's crazy that they don't know this stuff. It's like you can't just show up like, oh, I'm a veteran. There's an application process that you have to go through, which means that there's a lot of paperwork involved. So there's scripture that talks about the harvest is plenty, but the laborers are few. A lot of people don't want to do the paperwork. A lot of people don't. They stay stuck where they are, right? When sometimes you can create a business for broke and not understand that just by doing these things, you'll actually elevate your lifestyle.
You just focus, take some time, your checklist,
just do it.
Sit down, eliminate the distractions, and get your paperwork.
Sometimes people want the outcome without putting in the input. You can't do that. Like, you have to become the person who actually takes action so that you can have the outcome. The certifications process, even though it could be daunting, get it done. You have to get it done because...
So you mean your Chamber of Commerce or to the SBA, and then actually being certified as a minority-owned business, a women, because you see that on people's websites.
Yeah.
And honestly, y'all, if you feeling like that, I was that person. I remember I was so young in business because I started at 19. So when I found out about the cert, I probably was like 25.
Yeah.
And I printed out this long, I got it from SCORE.
Yeah.
And I never filled it out.
Yeah.
And I always put it on my to-do list. Like, oh, I got to do this.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So y'all not alone. Okay.
It's a lot of paperwork, but it's work, but it's worth it. You definitely have to just do it.
Yeah, this is exciting.
Change your life.
This is exciting information. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Talk to us about, you have a 5-day challenge. I know that there's going to be some of our listeners who are going to want to take action because that's what us boss women in media do. So how do we get help from you?
Sure, for sure. So I actually help people walk through the stages to getting themselves pre-qualified for my 5-day challenge. If you go to govconchallenge.com, you can actually get registered. It's an amazing experience. But I will say this, once you go through there and have that experience, you'll never view business again. You will understand who you are as an entrepreneur, the power that you have, and the positioning of your business will be more of a service because people who solve problems, those are the people who succeed. And then you'll also be able to see how there's opportunities all around us that we've been blinded to because we don't know. We go through the miseducational directional institution called school and we've been taught all of these things,
I'm dying now.
And we've been taught all of it. Like, we've been programmed to think and behave and to act in a certain way so that we can be middle-class citizens. The middle class is the new poor. Because as long as you're poor, you're taxed the most. You're taxed more than 50% of your income. Only the rich and the wealthy are just not taxed. They're bypassing taxes, right?
They bypass it
because this is a lack of knowledge. Once you educate yourself, and I'm talking about self-education. I'm not talking about I have nothing against school because I do have a college degree, doctor's degree, and all that stuff. But I'm talking about what you learn from other people. I'm talking about what you're willing to teach yourself.
Sitting down, getting the books, reading the articles, doing the Google searches, courses, download the audios and the podcast. Exactly. That's learning time.
Because you learn the truth. And it's the truth that actually sets you free. And I'm not saying you're bound physically. It sets you free mentally.
Dr. Karwanna, give you a little dance because you're killing it right now. This is amazing information.
Yeah, thank you. So the challenge actually walks you through the pre-qualifications process. And then you'll also be able to see how much money is on the table for you for your specific business.
So you earn the challenge. I go through the 5 days and then I will know this is a great opportunity for me.
Absolutely.
And then you just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
That's a really great setup because now that you're explaining this, it's like you could download the app that you have, but if you don't have the pre-qualifications, then you can't even maximize the benefits in the app.
Absolutely.
You put it all together. Prior to you having this information and saying, hey, I'm going to teach others how to do government contract, you were kind of doing marketing services and doing other things, just like a different type of business?
Yeah, no. So I'm still a government contractor myself. So I actually still get contracts for the same stuff. So media production, video production, audio, all that. But I also felt led and called to show other people and empower other people on how to do it, because I know that there's a lot of problems that we see in our communities, especially Black and brown communities that have been blighted. And when you think about the things like gentrification that happens and stuff, it's like, how can we be solution? Right. Entrepreneurs are there because you're supposed to be the solution. But when you don't have no capital, you don't have no power, right?
You can't even operate at your highest capacity.
Yes.
And even coming in as your full self because you're thinking about how to
survive. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so for me, teaching business success principles and how to actually create wealth for business communities is also going to help impact those communities, because those companies are going to become more profitable. And then when you're more profitable, now you can be the solution. You can do things like buy the block back. You can start programs. You can hire your own teachers. You can build your own school. It's all about creating solutions of how can we serve at a higher capacity as entrepreneurs.
How much of our community, how many of us are actually taking advantage of government contracts?
Not very many, for one or two reasons. Number one, most people don't know. They're still unaware. And even though government contracting is becoming more of a buzzword now.
Yeah, because it's social media.
Yeah. You're either unaware or you're aware and just have no clue what to do. So people get stuck in the process. They don't really understand who they are and then your purpose, because I always tell people who come into my world, right? I always tell them, your business is not for you. Your business is to serve other people.
Yeah.
Your business is to change your community.
There was a quote that I read in Think and Grow Rich, A Black Choice by James Kimbrough.
Okay.
And he's quoting Andrew Carnegie and Napoleon Hill. So Napoleon Hill asks Andrew Carnegie, what's your success secret? How do I do it? And he's like, by you lending and helping God help other people, that is your greatest service.
Absolutely.
That's success.
And then also Zig Ziglar also talks about that. He talks about if you always help other people, you'll automatically always have what you need.
Your hand gotta be open.
Right. Yeah.
It can't be like this.
Yes.
It's not. You can't receive or give anything.
Yes.
Your hand is always like this. It's open to give and
absolutely.
receive. That's amazing. So you have a book as well.
Yeah.
And can you tell us about the book?
So it's called Don't Duck the Government. They've got your money. And it's really about how you can make millions of dollars pitching and winning government contracts. I wrote the book about a year ago now.
Okay.
And it's really just to help people understand how government contracting works and how it can work for them. Some of the navigation that you have to go through in order to really position yourself to win. And so it's a really great book. You can actually find it at don'tduckthegovernmentbook.com. So grab a copy. Of course, if you go there and get a copy, inside you'll find a golden ticket. I always talk about how certifications, like the certifications we were talking about, it's your golden ticket.
Okay.
It's your golden ticket to get to those pools of money that only you can participate in. As long as you have those certifications, it's a no-brainer. It's a win-win. Win-win. That is just all day. This is how we have people who have never created wealth before, who have never even made six figures in their business, who are either just started in business or been in business struggling forever. This is how they're able to become first generation millionaires in less than a year. Because they have the golden ticket and they understand how to use it and when to cash in on it.
Hey, if you are going to be the first millionaire in your family and you are agreeing to take the steps, you're going to commit, I need you to drop a comment and say, that's me. Wow, this is awesome. I'm so happy that we were able to connect. We connected not only once, but twice. We were orbiting in each other's sphere. So I'm excited about that. We're both in the same mastermind. We have the same coach. She is in the 7-figure society. I'm going to work my way up to join this millionaire circle, but I love it. If you're not a part of a mastermind, if you are not aware of the mastermind concept or even having a coach, it is something that I encourage you to make sure that you do, that you invest in yourself, and that you know it's okay to actually invest in yourself. And it's going to come at a premium price. But this is proof right here of someone who actually put their dollars behind believing that they know that they have something and that they want to create a legacy of wealth for their family and their communities. I encourage you to check out the masterminds. Make sure you check out Dr. Karwanna D. You can check out our mastermind right here as well. And is there anything else you want to leave us with? Maybe some inspiration for the women who are mothers and who are also in business.
I am a mompreneur. So my son, he just turned 1, and I'm building a business with a baby. And a lot of times people take that as an opportunity to just sit back and be like, well, I'm just wait till this baby gets 5 or go to school and stuff like that. But hey, I'm like, strap that baby on and go, because I done traveled all over the world with my son from right out of the hospital. We about to get this money, impact the world, because it's very important that every woman, especially moms, have the ability or have the knowledge and the know with how to actually create millions of dollars for yourself. Not to mention what you're doing for your family. It matters. It allows you to be able to do things to make money. This is another concept that I'll also teach. When you get the money, now you have to think about ways that you can invest it to make the money grow, make the money make money.
Yeah, don't go on the spending spree because you feel good because you finally got the balance.
But I'm not gonna lie, it's like when you first do make a lot of money, you're gonna buy that car, you're gonna buy all these liabilities and not knowing. But the wealthier you get, you really start learning that you have to invest in assets.
Yes, assets.
Knowledge in masterminds and things like that, those are assets because it actually makes you more money than your investment. Most people don't know about that. They don't know. Like they think, oh, I'm gonna spend money. Well, it's not.
Think about.
It's investing, because by choosing not to invest in yourself, really what you're saying is, I want to stay where I am, because that's what it is. Because if you do the investment and do the work, you're not only gonna 10x what you've invested, but you're gonna continue to make return on your investment over and over and over and over.
I am a testimony of it. I am sold out to the mastermind concept. I will continue to stay in masterminds, continue to invest. Even at the end of the day, it just feels so great to be in that community of people and say, oh my gosh, all these people are winning and they want me to win too. You're giving me the cheat code. You're telling me to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then I'm going to get this result.
Period.
It's a no-brainer.
But you know what? It's crazy because I feel like somebody needs to hear this, because I wasn't always that way. I didn't always think that way. When I was struggling in business, it was simply because I felt like I needed to do it all by myself. I'm going to do it all on my own. I'm going to figure it out on my own. I'm not going to invest in tools. I'm not going to invest in a coach. I'm going to do it all on my own. What you will find is that you'll be burnt out and ain't making no money. Burnt out and broke. It wasn't until I actually started seeding into myself that money began to flow in abundance and stuff like that. This is where it takes me back to everything that I learned as a Christian growing up in church and stuff like that.
Yeah, because I can feel the energy. I can feel the spirit, I'm so excited.
Yeah, it takes me back to scriptures as a child. Like we have, even in church, like we've been taught biblical things for the wrong reason. Like we've been taught the wrong thing. Yeah. Giving is the way to receiving, sowing seeds and making it grow. Once I realized, like I tested it once, I messed around and tested, and I made so much more money back by planting that seed and investing in myself that now I can't stop investing. But the more I invest, the more I receive. It's like giving is the way to receiving.
Are you also a preacher?
Pastor? Oh, you know what?
Minister?
No, I'm not. But I feel like it's just my calling, but it's just like something woke up in me. You know what I mean? Like people always be like, Pastor Karwanna. It's just that I'm a spiritual person. That's what it is.
Yeah.
And I believe in principles. And a lot of the principles that we're supposed to be living off of and building our businesses off of and creating relationships out of is in the Bible. And so with that said, King Solomon was a coach. He was a consultant. King Solomon gave consultation to the
king.
people. And what they will bring him is gold and rubies. He was a premium coach, not a cheapo people, not a cheap coach, not someone that gave you discounts. He was premium. What they paid him to this day is equal to 20 to 40 millions of dollars just to pick his brain. So when people are like, can I just pick your brain? No, you can't.
No.
And for people who have hearts, and this is just, just a side conversation. I wasn't planning on talking about this, but it's important that people know. For people who have hearts of giving and they're like, oh, I just want to give it to them for free. You actually rob people. When you do things for free and for cheap, you actually rob them of the opportunity to plant a seed that's going to grow. And so that's why I don't do nothing I can't do it because I understand that giving is the way to receiving. When you give, regardless if you feel like I don't have it, everybody has something. You can get resourceful. You have to have it. If you want the result, you have to figure out a way to make it happen for yourself because I understand that transformation happens in that transaction.
Amazing. All right, so I want to end off the show with one last question for you. I think we got through everything, but we do a segment called Wise Words from Women. It's a wise woman in your life who have given you some words that you still use for your life today.
I would say, well, my mom. I would say, because my mom was a single mom. Of course, there was 7 of us living in California. That's crazy. And, she always just told me to reach for the stars. Like, there's nothing that you can't accomplish. And I didn't understand it, when I was growing up. I'm like, reach for the stars. What are you talking about? There are limitations in the world. But now, as a mother myself, I understand that there is nothing that you can't accomplish when you do the work. You have to put together an action plan to get to your goal, and you can actually accomplish whatever it is that you set out to accomplish.
I love that. The millionaire creator, everybody, Dr. Karwanna D. Thank you so much for coming on to the show.
Absolutely.
Let everybody know your websites and how they can follow you.
To take the challenge, go to govconchallenge.com. You can also follow me on Instagram at Karwanna D Speaks and all things social media, Karwanna D.
That is awesome. So Dr. Karwanna, just know that I'm going to be inviting you to speak and present and preach on every single one of my platforms. I really want to help get this message out to the entrepreneurs that I'm connected to in the communities because, I care about them also getting this access, and you are just a wealth of information. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you.
This is awesome. Okay, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into the WIM Speak Show. Go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for our very next episode.